Hi, I'm Ellis George, play Courtney Woods, and you're listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast.
The tangents as we continue all the way to episode 260 of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. And really, as Brittany was just saying before we started recording, really, that happened last year? Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. So glad you joined us. Let's start off like we do with the virtual table and see who's joined us this week.
This is Brittany in Bethlehem.
This is Holly from Wisconsin.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And we'll start off the bat with a big congratulations to Chrissy and Jared as the newest member of the Five-ish Fangirls family arrived safely earlier today. So
Yes.
she will be on leave for a little while as they adjust to a family being a family four. But mother and baby seem to be doing well. So, and we look forward to helping indoctrinate
Yes.
Miss Charlotte into all things geeky
Yes.
as soon as possible. She does not know it yet because she's only a few hours old. She has no idea what she's been brought into. In the best way
But it's all
possible.
going to be so good. Yep.
Well, before we talk about 2019, let's talk about some 2020 news. Excuse me.
That still seems weird. Like, we're in 2020. Like, what?
Yeah, like solidly into 2020. It's been like
It's not
2
gonna
weeks.
it's not gonna sink in that we're in 2020 into December. I bet you anything. Like, what's like? This is insane to think about.
We're gonna do this again a year from now. We're gonna do
It'll be
Dang,
2021.
as
And then we'll be able to use the joke 2020 hindsight.
exactly. The bad jokes will continue.
Yes.
So, as we mentioned and lamented, I guess, about last week, award season, which, because looking at stuff that happened in 2019, and I realized that it seems like the BAFTAs and the Oscars are like right on top of each other. They are. For some reason, the Oscars were later last year, or they're earlier this year, or something. I don't know, but
Who knows?
yeah. So it's like there's gonna be a quick turnaround. So anyway, so we'll do this in the order of happening, I guess. So we got the BAFTA nominations, which is the British equivalent of the Oscars, essentially. And so not really a whole lot of surprises. I don't think, compared to what we've seen get nominated this season for the most part. There's a lot of nominations for The Irishman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 1917 Joker. We've got I'd have to look at the Golden Globes to see if this was the case, but and as we get to the Oscars, this kind of funny thing that at least for the BAFTAs, in the lead actress and supporting actress category, Scarlett Johansson has been nominated twice, but for two different movies. And then it's supporting actress Margot Robbie was supported twice for two different movies, so she's up against herself in the same category.
As someone who doesn't pay
Yeah.
attention to awards, really, has that happened before?
I probably has. But it is a little interesting to see, see that occur. Obviously, with the BAFTAs, they have special categories for outstanding British film, outstanding debut by a British writer, director, producer. So there's going to be some things in there that maybe we're not necessarily that familiar with if they haven't had, U.S. releases. So, yeah, not for the most part. I don't think really a whole lot of surprises for the BAFTAs. I think for the most part. So those will be on February 2nd in London at the Royal Albert Hall. And then the really early this morning, at least for in Los Angeles, they do this at like 5 a.m. Los Angeles time. I don't know why they do it so early. I guess so that all the news publications can get in there ASAP.
Yeah.
But the Academy Award nominations were announced this morning. And once again, it's very similar to what we saw for the Gold Globes and for the BAFTAs. So once again, they did, or the best film or best motion picture. They did, did they do 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, there's 9. 9 of them. I know they can go up to 10 for best picture. It looks like there's only 9. Interesting. And then best actor, best actress, not really, I think, a whole lot of surprises there. Again, a lot of things that we've seen. So once again, Scarlett Johansson nominated for both best actress and best supporting actress for 2 different movies. Margot Robbie is not up against herself, though, in best supporting actress. I know. See, I don't tend to watch a lot of the movies that this is repeating stuff that I know that most of us have said before. It's like a lot of the stuff that gets nominated, I don't bother to see, so I don't know what's missing until I hear people throw a fit. After nominations are announced, so they're like, well, why didn't this person get nominated for this category? I'm like, I have no idea. It's like, that's a thing. But once again, the best director, all men, no women. Thankfully, they're, if you want to get and race into it, not all white men.
Nope.
Because Bong Ho did get nominated for Parasite. So people are a little throwing up their eyebrow because Joker got nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay because I guess it's very, very, very loosely adapted on a comic. Or at least part of a plot of a comic. Again, I don't read the comics, so I'll take their word for it. So yeah, it's a thing. So one interesting thing that, because of the once again, the things that we care about didn't really get any recognition until you start getting into some of the technical categories. So like Avengers Endgame got nominated for visual effects, so did Rise of Skywalker. That's Rise of Skywalker also got nominated for sound editing. Rise of Skywalker got nominated for original score, so that gives John Williams his 52nd Oscar nomination.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty awesome. But interestingly enough, Into the Unknown from Frozen 2 did get nominated for original song.
Every day it's a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me that loves to go into the unknown. Into the unknown, into the unknown. Are you out there? Do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me?
However, in the animated feature category, Frozen 2 was not nominated.
Huh.
Huh.
Yeah.
I
In
mean,
fact,
I haven't seen it yet, but still, that's
yeah, and actually, because we talked about this last week, the surprise that what was it, Abominable?
Yeah.
One did not get nominated, but actually, it's a different Bigfoot movie essentially that got nominated called Missing Link.
Really?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's more of like a stop motion
Mm-hmm.
animation.
Yeah. So, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World got nominated. I Lost My Body, which I think is a foreign animated
Just
film.
to say, because like I haven't even heard of
It's a
that.
Netflix. Yeah, it's a Netflix.
Ah.
Klaus, which is also Netflix, which everybody I know that watched it over the holiday season says it's really good. Missing Link, and then Toy Story 4. So that was, I did not realize it was not paying attention or whatever, and I didn't realize till somebody pointed it out later, like Frozen 2 didn't get nominated in the animated category. I'm like, oh, that's right. That's
weird.
kind of weird. So, but any hoozles. Yeah, it's just one big butt kissing party anyway. So it is what it is. So if you care to watch how things go, it will be Sunday, February 9th. It will not have a host again this year, so they will repeat what they did last year. So good luck to everybody, and I guess we'll see what happens. So I wouldn't be able.
I think they ran pretty much on time. I think they were only a couple minutes over than like normal.
Yeah, I would say not having a host does work in that work in that factor. So. So, hey, award season. it'll be here, and then when it'll be over until it starts up again in the late spring, early summer. Oh my. So that's it for news, really. So move on to feedback. And we got some feedback from Shalane. And she's got a little bit of everything, actually. Comments and questions, all sorts of things. So she says, did you guys know that Joaquin Phoenix is the brother of the late River Phoenix who played the young Indiana Jones in Last Crusade? Which I did know that.
Yeah.
Yes. She checked off a number of movies over the holidays, which good for you. I did not get to go nearly as much as I wanted to, but she got to see Jumanji: The Next Level, Rise of Skywalker, Cats, and Little Women. And I saw none of those over the holidays. I saw Rise of Skywalker before I went on vacation, and I saw Knives Out, and that was it. So.
I saw Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
There's a lot more I want to see, but things happen.
Yep.
Looking forward to this year. She says it looks like, and she's right. It says it looks like Disney and Pixar are doing some original stories going forward. Which this year we're getting. I just had it and I just lost it.
Is it that?
Going with Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, where they look kind of like trolls. Crap.
What is? Some Disney fans we are.
Yeah, I know. In my excuse, I'm still getting over being sick. I had the flu last week, so I'm just gonna blame that on everything. So onward. There we go.
Yes, I
don't know why I couldn't think of that. I was like, starts with an O. I could think of that. But anyway, so yeah, onward, and then the jazz movie. Those are the two that we're getting this year. So Soul, that's the other one.
Right.
That I could think of. Yeah, so odds are we're probably not going to get any sequels to known Pixar stuff for a while, which I don't think we need. I don't think we need another Cars. I think we're good with Toy Story. I don't think we need anything else in the Finding Nemo universe. So
as much as I like most of the sequels to Pixar, I definitely want more new things.
Yeah, well, and I think Disney right now, not Pixar, but Disney, it seems to be that their focus is on doing quote unquote live action remakes of animated movies. So
that's. I mean, I haven't hated any of the ones I've seen. I haven't seen all of them, but I haven't hated. But that's also still okay, you guys can kind of stop doing that. I don't.
Yeah.
I saw a rumor that they're doing Fox and the Hound now.
Yeah. Which again would not really be live action.
I was gonna say, are they gonna actually have a dog in a fox?
If they're animals,
be like Lion King?
Yeah, it's if they're animals and they talk, they're not live action. The minute you start manipulating their mouths, even if you used actual animals, which I doubt you would, because that would be really hard to film and then make their mouths move. So anyway, thank goodness for the MCU. Let's see. She mentioned the New Mutants trailer, which I've seen it. I don't care. Sorry.
I think that's one of those movies like I knew it was coming up, but I forgot about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if they find some way, it's like, yeah, it's like it's not part of the MCU as far as I know, because it's supposed to be a Fox thing. So it's more of the X-Men universe, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but
isn't it more
the
like
X-Men universe doesn't mean much either. So I don't really care.
Mhm.
It's a thing, but whatever.
Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be part of the X-Men film series, but I don't know. The Wikipedia thing's kind of murky.
Well, yeah, it's just this movie's been like in production, like purgatory for a while, so
and making its way through the realms.
Mm-hmm. Dante's Inferno ain't got nothing on this.
Exactly.
That's a literary joke for all you people out there.
You knew exactly where I was going with it, Rachel. I was like, are you going to pick up on that reference?
Dante's over here like, really, New Mutants?
my beverage you will hold.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Like you're supposed to travel through the circles. Not supposed to stay in one of them. Last comment is, she says, I can't remember if you guys mentioned this in your musicals episodes, but did you hear that Wicked is going to be a movie? Which those are that's also one of those that they keep claiming that somebody's going to turn Wicked into a movie. And as much as I love Wicked, I'd almost rather them not, actually.
No, I mean, just with the little movie experiment that happened a few months last month.
Yeah.
Maybe that should not be. Yeah. I mean, for those people who loved it, perfect, but I've heard more disappointed reviews than anything.
If you have no desire to do Cats whatsoever, but are interested and want to hear not necessarily a good is subjective, but if you want to hear an entertaining review, go watch Andre's review of Cats. This movie broke him. But it's in the best way possible. It is hilarious. He loved it, but it broke him.
Yikes. And that takes quite a bit.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having a movie that I love, but also broke me at the same time. Like,
yeah. The Rise of Skywalker broke him too, but for completely different reasons.
Well,
go watch Andre's reviews of both of those movies. You'll be thoroughly entertained. Turning beloved musicals into movies is just, it doesn't have the best track record. There's some where they do okay. I never saw it, but supposedly the adaptation was Into the Woods was halfway decent.
Yes, that was good.
I'd never actually seen Into the Woods on stage though, so I don't know. I have no basis for comparison.
It's good. Bernadette Peters is in the regular version of Into the Woods. Yeah,
but
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's like taking well-loved movies and turning them into musicals. Sometimes it's quite successful.
Yeah.
It's been done. Apparently nowadays there's musical adaptations of Heathers, which apparently is done really well.
Mm-hmm.
Mean Girls.
Beetlejuice is awesome.
Beetlejuice is supposed to be really good. The Legally Blonde musical I really like.
Whoa! Is that my name up on that list? Does someone know that I exist? Is this a mistake? Am I even awake? Pinch me now to make sure. Ah! Yes, that's my name in black and white.
So yeah, that street does not run both ways. So
No.
If there's some things that should just be on stage, like making it a movie does not make it any better.
Yeah, I mean, I could, and this could be a discussion this could be a whole podcast episode discussion, but it's like I could kind of see why some people feel compelled, just because the theater is, live theater is not as attainable for a majority of the public. Like, yes, there are touring groups, but unless you live someplace that's relatively a decent population, so they feel compelled to go there. Even if you can never make it to Broadway, you still might not ever get to see like a good Broadway style with a Broadway budget, musical, because you live in the middle of nowhere, and therefore touring groups don't come to your part of the country.
Right.
So, and traveling is expensive, and even then, live theater, those tickets tend to be way more expensive than a movie ticket. As much as we complain about how expensive going to the movies is, it's cheap compared to live theater.
Yeah. Or hopefully getting lucky for the lottery if it's a really well-known.
Exactly.
You must see this Broadway play.
Yeah, where you got to sell a kidney and donate your firstborn child to go see Hamilton. Anybody and their grandmother can go see Cats in the movie theater. So I can kind of see why they feel compelled to do that, especially really well-known productions, things like Cats. But it just does not always translate, and as we've seen with Cats, that is the case. So in other cases,
your mileage may vary.
Yeah, your mileage may vary. So in the woods, not too bad. Phantom of the Opera, not so much. Although at least with Phantom of the Opera, they apparently finished any and all CGI, unlike Cats. So,
like, I don't know. Like, I wanted, because I had, when I was younger, I had the professional recording that they had of Cats from the 80s, I think it was. I don't remember, and I really liked that. And then now I hear they having the new Cats movie. I was somewhat excited, thinking how they're gonna do this. And then I was hearing the cast. The cast is amazing. I love everybody that's in it.
Yeah. It's a really talented group of people, but it's
and then I saw the trailers. I'm like, ugh, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. So as much as I love Wicked, I leave it alone.
Yes.
If you really want to see Wicked and you can't afford to go, again, we don't condone piracy or bootlegging, but if you go on YouTube, more often than not, you can find people's, sneakily recorded recordings of said shows. So,
is there a professionally done one?
There should be, but I don't.
There should be, but there isn't always. I know, like Broadway.com. Sometimes they will do at least parts of it. I know, sometimes they will do show them on TV. And then you can find it. That's how I've watched the Legally Blonde. It was shown on MTV of all places, but it's official. But you have to they do commercial breaks, so it's almost like watching an actual TV show, unlike where you just get intermission halfway through. So it's if you don't mind dealing with that.
Yeah, or you hope it gives hope that maybe this will be one of the PBS fundraising special ones that they'll air, so you can watch and enjoy.
Yeah, that's what we had for the longest time. It was a PBS showing of Cats that we had for the longest time before I actually got to see it in person. So
That's actually might be the thing I remember watching.
Yeah.
It's like a VHS copy of it. And there's a streaming service, Broadway HD, that has quite a few.
You can't guarantee that what they have on there is something you'd want to watch.
It has Cats.
Yeah.
I just looked it up.
There you go.
It's part of the Cats that I remember.
Probably. Oh my.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, it's the. Yep, I recognize the. It's like the iconic look.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's our short opinion on musical adaptations. Again, a discussion for another day. So it's a whole series. Like we would talk about musical adaptations and then book adaptations and video game adaptations. We got a whole series we can do on that. So
Yes.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Stay tuned. With that,
in some cases, all of there's I know there's some this book, video game in either movie or TV series. I'm like, wow, it's a lot of.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that happened in the past, segue. I'm so good at them. Let's take a moment to look back at some things that have happened in the fandom in 2019. We've been doing this, I think, pretty much since we started the podcast. As soon as the calendar flipped over, we've taken an early episode of the new year to look back at what has happened fandom wise in the previous year. So once again, we'll start, I guess, at the beginning. So that's the easiest way to do it. So January last year, we kicked off the 2019 with Doctor Who on a Doctor Who, I guess, holiday special, New Year's special. Instead of Christmas, with Resolution, which helped kind of put the bow on Jodie Whittaker's first season as the Doctor. We also saw the passing, speaking of Broadway, of Broadway legend Carol Channing. And then the Star Trek Exploring New Worlds exhibit opened at the Children's Museum in Indianapolis, which I went to media preview for and live streamed from, which you can see the video and pictures from that on our Facebook page. February, we saw Tiny Rebel Games shut down Doctor Who Legacy after several years of ups and downs, I think. So I loved the game when I played it, and then they got to the point where my device just got too old and refused to cooperate. And I still have it loaded on my iPad. It just won't run.
Yeah,
I see the icon. I'm like, oh, I miss you.
Yeah, I have it my games phone. I'm like, oh. But if I try clicking on it, it tries to load, and then I can't really do much after.
Yeah. Our friend of the show, Liz, Tony from Geeking Indiana's other half, launched her podcast, the Social Sci-Fi Podcast, and I was on the inaugural episode. with The Woman Who Fell to Earth, and she spent last year going episode by episode with Jodie Whittaker's first season as the Doctor, and I appear on almost every episode.
With the exception of.
Yeah, with the exception of.
I wonder which.
In my defense.
Yes.
Actually, there is no defense because I would have been on the episode. I just did not want to watch that episode again. I would have showed up after they were done watching it and talked about it. But then when push came to shove and time came to it, I got in a car accident and couldn't go anyway. So it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, but I'm very thankful that Liz has, kept that essentially an open invitation, and allowed me to come and go as I please, which is more often than not. Which I think she appreciates because my Doctor Who knowledge is a lot deeper than hers. She's still learning. So I'm more than happy to share the fountain of useless knowledge that is in my brain about Doctor Who. So
I like that. The fountain of useless knowledge.
Yes. That is me. And then speaking of the Oscars, the Spark of Madness podcast threw down the gauntlet last year and challenged us to a pod versus pod contest to see who could pick the most Oscar winners. And I know I mentioned this last week. I don't think we're going to do that again this year. I did ask Matt, and he did not say that we are doing it again. So unless something changes, I guess we can just watch the Oscars, and I guess we can make our own personal picks just for the hell of it if we want.
Okay. Or one quasi at the ready in case it's last minute.
Yeah.
We need choices.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, well, because they do have a different contest going that's not pod versus pod, it's individuals that they brought Chauncey and I into our kind of fantasy football contest with the movies, and I had a nice healthy 2-point lead over Chauncey before Oscar nominations today. And then that went right out the window. I went from first to fourth really quickly. So, because unfortunately most of the movies on my team did not get nominated for Diddley Squat. So yeah, I can't remember who it is, but somebody has Joker and the Irishman, I think, on their team. So it's hello. That's a lot of points just for nominations, and then they'll get even more points for winning. So yeah, it's I enjoyed my lead while it lasted.
Well, who knows? 2-point lead. Maybe you'll have a dark horse or two, and that'll put you back in there.
Yeah, and I can't win if you don't get nominated. So
that's true too. Hey, and trying to stay positive for you.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, dear.
Yeah. Hey, I went with, for the most part, I just went with the movies that I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to see that. So regardless of how I thought they may do come award season. So. And then also in February, we saw the passing of Peter Tork of the Monkees. So
she knows her mind all right, your Auntie Griselda. She says she knows my kind, she might maybe so. Oh yeah, she's raised you right, your Auntie Griselda. You only know the things she wants want you to know. I know she's having a fit. She doesn't like me a bit. No bird of grace ever lived.
In March, we got Captain Marvel. So in the MCU, we got a proper introduction to Carol.
And we learned how Fury lost his eyes.
Yes, among other things.
So you're not from around here?
It's hard to explain. I keep having these memories. I see flashes. I think I had a life here. But I can't tell if it's real.
Don't mess with the flirkin.
Yeah. Yep. And newbie Phil Coulson is just as adorable as seasoned veteran Phil Coulson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hasn't changed too much from.
Nope. Also in the MCU, after almost a year, Disney announced that they reinstated James Gunn as the director for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Smart move. Supernatural announced that they are going to be ending their run after season 15. Which is coming up, actually. The end is coming very, very soon. In really cool science news, astronomers took the very first image of a black hole.
Yes, that was awesome.
Very cool. Looked an awful lot like the Eye of Sauron, but still very, very cool. And the fact that it was a woman astronomer who helped come up with the algorithm to compile said image just made it even cooler.
Yep. The biggest question. Okay, who has the super astro one ring to rule them all?
Yeah.
Return it.
No. Hopefully there isn't a super astro one ring to rule them all.
Yeah.
We saw how much trouble that one ring caused a lot of people. So
yeah.
If we've learned anything in the last, couple decades or so, is powerful jewelry bad idea.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yep. And in a couple of fandoms.
Yeah. I went down to Bloomington and interviewed the cast and crew of Jekyll and Hyde, which was a local performance of obviously an adaptation of the well-known story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. In this case, is an adaptation being produced and put together by a friend of the show and big Finnish sound engineer extraordinaire Russell McGee. So that was fun. You can listen to that. That's in the feeds as a little extra squee. And then Game of Thrones kicked off its final season. And at the end of the month, if you were lucky enough, after waiting in internet hold for hours and hours and hours and managed to get tickets, we saw the end of a long and amazing storyline with Avengers Endgame. And even now, my heart still breaks when I think about the end of Iron Man. Yeah.
Thanos did exactly what he said he was going to do. He wiped out 50% of all living creatures.
We lost. All of us. We lost friends. We lost family. We lost a part of ourselves. This is the fight of our lives.
This is gonna work, Steve.
I know it is. Because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't.
Every time I see an image of Tony with the Infinity Gems getting ready to do the step, I'm like, no, don't do it.
No.
Like somehow that'll change a multi-million-dollar movie that's already been out and made $1 billion.
Strange. Are you sure this was the only option?
Yeah.
Marvel liking to put cool yet heartbreaking scenes.
Yeah. It's like, dang you, Doctor Strange, and your 14,605,000. This is the only one. Last week, I love myself, Doctor Strange, but he does have a dark mark in his record for that. But
yeah.
It's not like he caused it. He just saw it.
Technically his fault. It's like don't shoot the messenger.
I know, but still. He just had to raise that one finger.
True.
I guess actually that was April, not March. But anyway.
Well, it still segs into April, so
yeah, it does. We just had like this from like late, like from March until like early May. It was just like Avengers, just like everything.
It was
everywhere.
Yeah,
so it's like you know with the final trailers and then the press junkets and then the red carpet and then the cast and crew showing up on all the news thingies and so and
like
people being
shows.
People being stuck in online ticket purgatory trying to get tickets.
And the outrageous amount they were selling for on eBay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
It was just a normal seat. It was nothing like you didn't like have any like VIP thing. You didn't get to meet the stars.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to afford it, but I would have been like, maybe.
Even if I could afford it, I'm like, I'm not gonna pay that just for a regular seat.
But like I'm saying, like if it was like if it was like a VIP, like meeting the stars, I would have been like,
yeah, like unless I'm sitting in the theater, like in Robert Downey Jr.'s lap.
Exactly.
It ain't happening. So yeah, like March, so that's pretty much like that like mid to late March when tickets go on sale till the movie actually was out in theaters in late April. It was just kind of like, this is the end. It's here. So and also in April, Peter Mayhew, the OG Chewbacca, he passed away. In May, we got the birth of the first child to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, aka the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, when their son Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor was born. So, and I thought about adding the current like royal to the news, but things are still happening.
yeah.
So, until we get like the final word from all parties involved, we're just gonna wait and see what happens.
Yeah, that's it. And we don't know like the full story. We probably won't know.
Well, we'll never know the full story.
Yeah, exactly.
But right now it's like we've gotten an announcement from Team Sussex, and we got an announcement. Kind of, it was more of a note it could have been a post note for all as short as it was, but a short note from the Queen herself today. But even that, it said we still expect things to, pan out over the next few days, quote unquote few days. So yeah, things are still happening, and until we know what exactly this means for all the parties involved, we're just going to wait until that hopefully gets ironed out, and then we'll discuss it. But until then, they do have their boy, so little Archie. Although he's not so little now, if you saw their Christmas card that going up on social media, so he's growing up there. Yeah. And then I had a couple of passings with Tim Conway of the Carol Burnett Show passing away, and then Grumpy Cat of internet fame passed away as well. Game of Thrones reached its conclusion, and depending on what team you're on, could be a piddling conclusion or a exciting conclusion, I guess. So you can hear our thoughts and recap on that in episode 230. And then it started in May, but after lots of excitement, we finally got again, so as I slightly mentioned last week, a good adaptation. This is one of those times where adaptations they did it right. We got the live action adaptation of Good Omens. Yep.
I am an angel. You are a demon. We're hereditary enemies. Get thee behind me, foul fiend. After you.
Which we do our review of that on episode 233. So. Which I was... Oh, good. Which, I would... Yeah, listen to the episode and hear us all wax poetic about how much we loved love this. And the slight, not necessarily spoiler, because Liz has mentioned it on her kind of looking forward to season 2 of Social Sci-Fi, but she does plan on covering Good Omens for Social Sci-Fi this season. So I'm excited to discuss it again. I mean, I'm always down for watching it again too, obviously. I'm excited to watch it and discuss it again. So I just let Liz, I just let Liz some of my Good Omens accoutrement books so that she could use them for research. So I was like, take good care of those. Those are my babies. Especially one with all the pretty pictures. Those are my Xerophone cosplay references.
Yes.
Do not let the dogs dribble on these pages. No. So, but Good Omens. That, and I finally realized I had been missing Michael Sheen in my life. So.
Yeah. Prodigal Son will be returning next week, I think.
In the meantime, apparently he's in Doolittle. So he was at the red carpet the other day because they had the Doolittle premiere in Los Angeles. Somebody managed to snag a really short video of somebody interviewing Robert Downey Jr. and Michael Sheen and his girlfriend walk right behind him. Like, two of my favorite people together at the same time.
Ooh. Nice.
Like, why was I not invited? Because nobody knows who I am. To all the powers that be, we will gladly attend any and all red carpets. Just email us at Anyway, June, getting there. June was exciting for a lot of reasons. So we had PopCon, which is always exciting in my books. And this year's event did not disappoint. I got to hang out with some good friends. I got to play Booth Mom, as I was dubbed by Brandon and Cullen. Got to meet Henry Simmons from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Got to meet my lifelong childhood crush, Jason David Frank, aka Tommy Oliver from the OG Power Rangers. So that was exciting. We also celebrated our 5th birthday. Fell over PopCon weekend, so that was exciting. We got a new friend of the rest of y'all, but bringing in a new friend of the show, I guess. Becky Menken of MEI Mouse Fan Travel joined us on episode 234. So we got to talk travel and business and some geeky things and how much she loves Chris Hemsworth's biceps, among other things. And then probably really the highlight, or the cherry on top of June, is that Chauncey and I went on a road trip, and Brittany and I finally got to meet. Well, Chauncey was there too, but anyway.
Yeah.
But really, it was about Brittany and I. We got to have pizza and beer, and Brittany got to play with virtual reality in the parking lot of her apartment building.
And call out bingo when I didn't actually have a bingo.
Fun was had by all. In July, this is like June, July, August is like really the busy time for us as far as fandom. So we had Laura and Elena from In Sewing Is Half the Battle return to the podcast on episode 235. So we got to hear about their adventures in New Zealand. So that was lots of fun. And then I tabled at Incon Junction and did 7 panels over the course of the weekend.
Still think you're insane for that.
Yeah, I know.
And
I was just thinking, like, I should look and see if registration's opened yet for Incon Junction this year. And I'm like, don't sign up for 7 panels. Don't sign up for 7 panels.
And weren't some of them at really old stupid o'clock in the morning too?
No, actually, I was good on that part.
Oh, good. I couldn't remember because I know that one year you had some that were.
Yeah, no, that was the year before. I was smart apart as far as the time of day for the panels, just not the number. You would think with a convention this small, I would be able to get a handle on things. I'll try again this year. And then Spider-Man, we saw the return of Spider-Man in his own movie, I guess, with Spider-Man Far From Home, which made us laugh and cry. The opening montage.
Snort and tear up, and then the ending stinger, OMG.
Yeah.
Did not see that at all.
And then we got a review of Spider-Man Far From Home in episode 237. And then we get Fandom Christmas, San Diego Comic-Con, which we dive into in episode 238. And then August, of course, means Gen Con. I'm already thinking about Gen Con this year, and it just makes me tired just thinking about it.
I would say you still have quite a few months, but those months.
It'll be here
by,
before
right?
you know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you can hear all about my adventures along with Beth, the crafty nerd, who returns to give her perspective on Gen Con in episode 239. And then I got to see and meet George Takei at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. He came on a book tour for his graphic novel. So that was cool to see him talk and answer some questions and get to meet him and his husband, Brad. And that was pretty awesome. And then we had Disney Fandom Christmas. It was a double Fandom Christmas year at D23 Expo. And you can hear our recap of the news that came from that on episode 242. And then September, I went traveling again. This time headed west to San Francisco, where Chauncey and I went and played Tourist, among other things, and then got to see Metallica play twice, actually.
Yes.
For the S&M 2, the 20th anniversary concert, and we have a recap of that in episode 244. And then we have the Indie Disney Meet, which was pushed to September this last year because of D23 Expo. But it was, again, another fun event, raised a lot of money for Give Kids a World, got to see Lou again, and Jeff Barnes, and got to see Becky for the first time, face-to-face, in a very long time. So that was a lot of fun. I got a recap of that on episode 245. And then after a slightly emotional month or so, Sony and Disney reached a agreement in their custody battle of Spider-Man. So, D23 Expo kicked off with Sony going, he's ours.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige going, you can say that for now.
Why can't we all just get along?
Yes. So they reached an agreement, and everything is hunky-dory for now. In October, we got the surprise that we are going to get a new Hunger Games novel. This is going to take place pre the Hunger Games books that we've already gotten, but it's in the same universe. It could be called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And then we welcomed new friend of the show, Ginny D, on episode 248. So you can hear her discussion with us, where we talk cosplay, life on the internet, all that fun stuff, fandom. I attended Oktoberfest at Who North America again and won my first cosplay award.
Yeah. An awesome cosplay that it was. Hanging
proudly in my living room next to my thermostat.
Yay!
And then we also hit 250 episodes in late October, and we celebrated by taking a look at the Ghostbusters fandom. So just in time for Halloween.
Right.
And in November, I attended one last convention where I went just for the day to GalaxyCon in Louisville, where I got to meet Christopher Eccleston. Very exciting. And Dave Bautista, who gave me M&Ms. And you can hear all about that on episode 254. Yeah. And then also in November, Disney Plus launched. And everybody immediately became obsessed with Baby Yoda. Even though in that very first episode, he's only on screen for a little amount of time. And since then, the child has taken over all over the place. It is awesome. Speaking of which, if you want immediate gratification, although I can't speak for every store, but if you have either a box lunch and or a Hot Topic near you, at least both of the ones near me have shirts with the child on them. So obviously there's a lot online you can order too, some of it official, some of it not, but if you don't want to wait for shipping, you need immediate gratification, and try those. But again, I can't speak for every store location, just the ones near me. And then December was an interesting month to finish out the year with some more passings, including Carol Spinney, aka Big Bird, and Oscar the Grouch, among other characters. And then I'm still going to butcher his name. I'm so sorry. Renee Auberjonois.
Close enough.
Yes. Odo, Chief Odo of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, passed away. And then really we just kind of wrapped up the year with the end of the Skywalker saga with Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
It's an instinct. A feeling. The Force brought us together.
We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them. People keep telling me they know me. No one does. But I do.
Long have I waited. And now, you're coming together. Is your undoing.
AKA The Rise of Luke Skywalker's Belt, if you've seen that picture on our Facebook.
Yeah. Another character has won the has taken the reign of hide and seek championship from Luke Skywalker from The Force Awakens.
Yeah. So, and of course you can hear our thoughts on that. It's really not that far back in the feeds, because that was only a couple episodes ago. So episode 258. So yeah. So that was 2019. Some good, some really good, some really bad, some really sad.
Yep.
The usual mixed bag.
Yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, obviously, that focuses on stuff fandom related. If you wanted to broaden the scope to outside of fandom, a lot you could talk about, but we're not going to get into that because that's not the focus of the show. Obviously, personally, we've all had our 2019s were interesting. I think some good, again, good, bad, indifferent. Some really low lows, some really high highs. So that is life, really. At the end of the day. So, but overall, I can't complain too much. there's the good definitely outweighs the bad, which is
Yes.
always a plus.
Mm-hmm.
So it really, at the end of the day, we've got Baby Yoda, and really, what else do you need?
And we already know there's going to be more Baby Yoda.
Yes.
We don't have to worry about that.
Yep. Yep. So
I do hope we get they actually name him.
Oh
Or
yeah, I'm sure they will at some point. So
or at least
supposedly, according to the interwebs, Jon Favreau knows, which that would make sense because he's the showrunner.
Yeah.
But supposedly Taika Waititi knows as well, and he was trolling on Twitter, I think, and he said something like his name's like, I forget what it was, but something like random. Just like, there's no way it's his name. Like he said, it's like his name is Harold or something like that. So
it reminded me of when with Doctor Who.
Yeah.
When the got which season, but the name of the Doctor.
Yeah.
It was Matt Smith. Like, and it was like, oh, his name is Bob.
Yeah.
No, Sarah, his name is George.
Yeah. I will love him and squeeze him and name him George.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but we can. No, Nigel. That's what he said.
Nigel. Whenever I hear that name, I think of Nigel Thornberry. So it's gonna be interesting. If that is obviously not true, but if it was,
yeah, that's not a very Star Warsy name.
No.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not a hard sci. Well, I imagine they know that fandoms are gonna want to say the name. Say the name, so they're probably not gonna give him a too complicated name.
Well, yeah. Yeah. That is true.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. We can speculate about that more next week when we talk The Mandalorian. Yes, we're finally getting there.
Ladies and gentlemen, send in your feedback, please.
Yes. Your feedback, your Baby Yoda memes, your Baby Yoda fan art, your Chicky Nuggies, and your Chalky Milk.
Yep.
Oh, those memes are so cute.
So yes, if you want to send in feedback about The Mandalorian, as we will be discussing next episode, or something that you thought was important in fandom in 2019 that we missed, the easiest way to do that is to go to our website, which is the5ishfangirls.com. From there you will find links on how to send us feedback, how to connect, our email address, how to connect to us on other social medias like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those fun things. There's also the Goodreads book club, where we read a Doctor Who related book every month and then discuss it. So you can join in there. So there's that. If you wish to financially support us, you can do that a number of ways, including Ko-fi, which is really easy, small or large, I guess, but usually intended for like small, single donations, if you like. But there's also our Patreon, where you can donate on a regular basis monthly, if you like, and in return there are fun bonuses, extras that you may get depending on what level you decide to donate at. There is also our Amazon affiliate link. So if you use that and then shop on Amazon, we get a small kickback. doesn't cost you anymore, and you can use discount codes, gift cards, Amazon Prime, all that fun stuff. And then, of course, there is our Redbubble shop where you can buy shirts and stickers and all sorts of things with our logo on it, along with other designs. So there is that as well. So in any way you choose to financially support us, obviously we're entirely grateful and eternally grateful and thankful for that. And if you cannot financially support us, obviously things like sharing the show, retweeting our tweets, sharing our links, rating and reviewing us in your chosen podcast app and or Facebook or the like, helps us a lot too. Yeah. So with that, we shall sign off for this week.
This is Brittany in Bethlehem saying goodnight.
This is Alex in Wisconsin saying good evening.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. So when we do this again next year, it'll be like in January, we gained a new pseudo niece. We'll be gearing up for this Charlotte's first birthday.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have been listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. You can find more episodes and information at thefivishfangirls.com. Any and all books, movies, games, and any other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by the respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied. If you wish to support the show, the easiest way is to leave us a rating and review. More ratings and reviews will make it easier for others to find the show. If you wish to support us monetarily, you can do so at patreon.com/5ishfangirlspodcast. All money goes towards fees and equipment to keep the show going. For official Five-ish Fangirls merchandise, visit redbubble.com/people/5ishfangirls. We love hearing from our listeners and encourage feedback. You can email us at fiveishfangirls@gmail.com. You can also like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/5ishfangirls. Thank you so much for listening, and may the squee be with you.